Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and for this one, gonna be reviewing another episode from Star Wars Rebels, and that is the episode from Season 3, Twin Suns. And yeah, I gotta say, this was actually a pretty good episode because it centers around Ezra. He senses the presence of old Ben / Ben Kenobi. He's alive and he's out there somewhere, and, he senses that he's on Tatooine. Maul is on Tatooine as well, because it's shown earlier in Season 3 that he finds out that Kenobi is still alive, and he tracks, later on the show, he tracks him down, and he finds that he's been hiding on Tatooine. So, yeah, that's really cool. And with the episode, because it opens, with Maul, he's on Tatooine, and he has a little speech, and he just, he shouts his last name loud and with an echo, Kenobi! Which is really cool. And then we cut to, with the Rebels, we cut to Ezra and Zeb that are sleeping, and Zeb is snoring, and Ezra, he's awake, and he then hears the message from Obi-Wan, of Order 66, because of warning all surviving Jedi to stay away from the temple, as we know in Revenge of the Sith, because, to warn all surviving Jedi to stay away from the temple, and, it's shown, I think in the first episode of Star Wars Rebels, I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you guys know, let me know if I'm correct. And that also makes a cameo, that message that Obi-Wan gives, it actually, has a cameo in the Star Wars video game, Jedi Fallen Order, which that's really cool. But anyways, so, and with back to the episode, Twin Suns, and also, so, and then, because when Ezra goes up to where the message that Obi-Wan left, it's glitching and malfunctioning, it's kind of repeating itself, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, that kind of thing. And then he tells the rest of the Rebels, Kanan and Rex, that Kenobi is alive, and Rex kind of doesn't believe him, and so does the Ghost crew. I forget how Rex puts it, but, I think he says something like, there are many people who would like to believe that Kenobi is alive, however he put it, and it shows that Rex apparently doesn't believe that Kenobi is alive. Neither does the Ghost crew. In fact, even Hera points out that, Bail Organa stated that, of Kenobi's death. But obviously, Organa knows that he's still alive. The reason that, Organa, made it clear and stated that, of Kenobi dead and such is obviously he's keeping his friend safe and keeping it a secret, as I guess it is kind of hinted out in Revenge of the Sith, but mostly in Rogue One. Like in Revenge of the Sith, as they discuss on where to keep the children, keep them safe from the Sith, and then Yoda says, until the time is right, disappear we will. And then in Rogue One, it's pointed out that because, mentioning of Kenobi, and, Bail Organa says, he served me well during the Clone Wars, and, then he has his daughter Leia sent a message to Kenobi, and with the Death Star plan. So, you see the connection there. So, you see the math there. But anyway, so back to the episode. And then the next day, Ezra steals a Rebel fighter, and then Chopper sneaks on board, and Ezra goes off onto Tatooine, and he's a bit surprised and kind of a bit mad at Chopper that he came along, and that's when, because when Chopper startles him, it causes Ezra to, crash the ship, lose control of flying it and crashing on Tatooine. And then, as they crash, Ezra has Chopper stay in the ship, and he searches for something, and then Ezra realizes that it's a trap, and out of nowhere, the Tusken Raiders pop up. And it's really cool. We get to see the Tusken Raiders in Rebels. yeah, and the way they look, I can understand because of, with the show and such, they weren't able to give them, like, how, with the clothing and such, like, because of robes or whatever, because how the Tusken Raiders look in Rebels, and especially because how they were going to look in Clone Wars, yeah, because I think even Dave Filoni stated they really didn't have the budget or anything like that to make the Tusken Raiders how they really look in the movies, the clothing. But anyway, so, and what's really cool is, out of nowhere, Maul, I guess, apparently saves Ezra. He basically kills the Tusken Raiders, and we don't see it. It just cuts right as he is about to, like, I guess you can say chop them and that kind of stuff. So, very gruesome, knowing Maul. But anyways, and so, and also throughout the episode, like, Maul is apparently, like, inside of Ezra's head, like he's tricking him, like he pops up right next to him or whatever, or maybe far off in the distance, and also, one part is, as Ezra goes off, he tells Chopper to go back to the ship or whatever to receive, to try and contact home and such. And there's one moment where Chopper, he looks at Ezra, then looks the other way, going back to where the ship is or whatever. And then what's funny is that he just goes, that kind of thing is like, I better stick with him, It's pretty funny. So, and then, Ezra and Chopper, they try and find Kenobi, and, like, they even manage to make their way through, like, a sandstorm, and then up to when, like, the twin suns are really getting to them, it's really hot and such, Chopper kind of shuts down, and Ezra, like, both, it's like, what's going to happen to them now, because, this, it's really hot, and, they haven't achieved anything on finding Kenobi. But that's when Kenobi comes across them, and later that night, he sets up a campfire and such, and has a little speech, has a speech with Ezra, with a discussion with Ezra, and then out of nowhere, Maul appears, and Kenobi tells Ezra, to ride off and go north, and that's his destination, and to head back home, because obviously, basically, there's a ship, that can take them, that they can get in and go back home to the rebels. And so Kenobi is left to face off against Maul. And what's really cool, because of their speech and dialogue, like Maul says, look what you have risen from, however he says, a rat in the desert, and Kenobi, look what I have risen from above, And then they have a little lightsaber duel, and that pose that Kenobi does, just like how, his younger self did, it's really cool. We see Ben Kenobi doing that pose with, pointing his two fingers, and with Maul, because he ignites his saber, and then they do have a little bit of a lightsaber duel, but then out of nowhere, Kenobi chops his double-bladed lightsaber, but also apparently he kind of kills him. Like, we don't see it, but obviously it's somewhere around the chest or somewhere. Like, it's not shown how he killed him, like, where he aimed at him, like, we only see him chop off his lightsabers, but what the heck, how did he strike at him? And then, before Maul dies, like, Maul's last words to Kenobi, and it's really cool, because even Maul says, why are you here? You are, hiding, protecting something. No, you are protecting someone. And the last words that Maul gives to Kenobi are, tell me, is it the chosen one? And then Kenobi says, he is. And then Maul, he will avenge us. And I think it's pretty obvious that means, when he says he will avenge us, basically means him and his brother, Savage. So, I think that makes sense, and to put it right there, so. And yeah, just like that, Maul's dead. So yeah. And even Dave Filoni kind of stated, that it should be Kenobi to be the one to kill Maul. And yeah, so, because here's the thing, because, Maul has basically tormented Kenobi 2 times. He killed his master Qui-Gon, and he killed, apparently, the love of his life, Duchess Satine. So, yeah. And then finally, Kenobi kills Maul, and what's really cool, from Qui-Gon to Satine and to Maul, he has held all 3 of them in his arms. Do you realize that? That's really cool. And that's when we cut back to Ezra and Chopper. They arrive back, and he says to them, we won't be seeing Maul anymore, And then, at the end of the episode, we see Kenobi, he makes his way to where Luke's home is, and we hear Beru's voice, which is the same voice, from A New Hope, and then we see Luke. He's running back into the house, and apparently that is the same, that the shot with Luke running, that's actually that's a reused model of young Ezra, if you get what I'm saying. So but even if that is, it's still technically supposed to be Luke. So and what's really cool is we get one last shot of Kenobi. He's just like and then boom, the credits roll, and it's playing the Twin Sun theme, which that is pretty cool. So, anyways, so with Twin Suns, I gotta say, it's a really good episode, and with the appearance of Kenobi, old Ben / Ben Kenobi, and with, how Maul gets defeated, because it's Obi-Wan who kills him, so, And as I said, as Dave Filoni stated it, that Kenobi should be the one to kill Maul, so, And you guys let me know what you think of Star Wars Rebels, the Star Wars Rebels episode of Twin Suns, because for me, I think it's pretty good. So anyway, so if that said, hope you enjoyed this review video. More new review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video / review video. Take care, peace out, and may the Force be with you.